You see my numbers not exactly where I want them to be, but they're still trending downward, which is a good thing. They're still on the high side, but they're going in the right direction. I have an appointment in a few weeks or so, so if my numbers are not where I think they should be, and I'll discuss it with my doctor, I'll probably end up getting back on meds, because diabetes isn't something you want to play with. That kind of reminded me of a story one of my buddies told me when I was first diagnosed with diabetes. He said someone told him that out of all the diseases you could possibly get, getting diabetes, being diagnosed as a diabetic, that wasn't as bad. That wasn't as bad as being diagnosed with some of the other things you could have gotten. Because diabetes is one of the things you can manage. Whether it's with meds or it's going the natural way, which that's what I'm doing. So, but anyway, like I said, if my numbers don't go down, I will get some meds. Diabetes is not one of the things you want to play with. The way I manage my diabetes is with my EKG. Eat right, know your numbers, and get off the couch. Today, basically my getting off the couch is one of my hobbies. I like to call myself an audiophile or an album collector or whatever you want to call it. Actually, it's a combination of both. Audiophile, album collector are sort of different, but I'm a hybrid. I'm a little bit of both of them. But anyway, make a long story short, something happened to my album collection because I wasn't taking care of them as good as I thought I was, because I've sort of switched over to CDs. So my albums, they're in the basement, and my turntable is packed up. I took it out probably about a year or so ago for Aretha's death. To play some Aretha on it, but for the most part, it's packed up. Anyway, I want to take you down, let you look at my album collection, and you'll see what I'm going to do today. One other thing about a hobby is, like I said, it's not so much physical as me out riding a bike or some of the other things you saw me do, washing the cars or outside shoveling snow, raking, or whatever the case may be. I'll put a link in the description so you can see some of these studies that are out there that hobbies have been shown to reduce stress. And almost any health ailment that you have, reducing stress is a good thing. Also, a hobby help you stay in the present. It help you stay engaged with what's going on and what have you. And also, it stimulate your senses. And that's why having a hobby is a good thing, regardless if your hobby is gardening, collecting stamps, collecting baseball cards, or whatever your hobby is. I can't believe I said collecting stamps. Does anyone still collect stamps? Honestly, I never knew anyone that collected stamps. I take that back. There was one person I knew that collected stamps. But anyway, whatever the hobby is, just like collecting stamps wasn't my thing, but buying albums, music, audiophile, trying to get the best sound out of your equipment. Unfortunately, I had a beer budget for my equipment, but anyway, my ears at that time was pretty good as far as the music was concerned. I guess as you age, they're not as good, but hey, I still like good sound coming out of my system. But anyway, follow me to the basement. Now I'll show you what happened. Here are my two containers. I'll go to the container that didn't get wet. See, in this container, I have a hole. Although there's a hole in this container, I didn't know I had a hole in it until the accident. But because it's up high, no water got in there, because the flood was only about maybe an inch or two deep. But as you can see, everything in this container pretty much okay. See, there's nothing stick together. Now here's the container where things got wet. You can see some water damage there. Water damage. You hear it sticking together. See, here's the issue with this one. The hole is in the bottom. So that's how water got in there. Alright.
Alright, so my plan is to take a handful of these every day, clean them up, and as I clean them up, store them, record them in Discogs, and as I go to used record stores, you know, I'll know what I need to replace, whether it was a wet one, I have it, but it got water damage, and I know if the album itself, see, look at it, all that is damaged, or I just need the cover. Because sometimes at used record stores, you can find the album, the cover may be fine, but the album inside may be bad. Most of my albums I did keep in pretty good condition. If I can find the album, regardless of what condition it's in, at a used record store, if the cover is fine, I'll get it. Alright, on to the process.
What I'm getting ready to do now is clean up a couple of those albums from downstairs. Actually, my goal is to clean all of them. I'm not going to do it in one sitting. I'm figuring about 10 or so a day, and I'll tell you in a second why I say 10. Not a day, but 10 or so at a time when I decide to clean them. Basically, this is the Spin Clean Record Washer System. This is something that was given to me for Christmas by my son-in-law and my daughter. They were the ones that discovered I had an issue down there in my carton with my albums. So I'm going to clean them up. I'm going to clean them up. And the reason I'm going to use 10, basically, the system here says clean no more than 8 to 10. I watched some of the YouTube videos about cleaning your records using the Spin Clean Record System, and some said 10 is too much, really about 8 or so. So I'm going to do about maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 today. I'll do one here on camera here. The first thing it says, add distilled water. I already added the rollers. And see, this is actually fairly simple to put together.
Okay, for the essence of time, I'm going to speed things up. I will post a video of me cleaning this in real time for those of you that are interested in it. I added some distilled water. Now I'm going to add a couple of capfuls of their cleaning solution, Spin Clean Cleaning Solution. You put that right over the brushes. The album I'm going to clean is Jesse Johnson. That's from back in the days of Minneapolis, Minnesota with Prince. If you can see there, the album is very dirty, as you can see. And with their system there, you're going to put the album in between the brushes, and you spin it about 2 or 3 times, 3 times one way and 3 times the other way. Now I'll take it out and dry it off. You see, once you dry it off, you dry it in the circular motion. You dry it with the grooves. Look at there. It looks pretty good. I'm flipping over. See? Look at there. It's clean. Now my process, I brought some new sleeves. So I'm going to put the album in a new sleeve. And I bought some plastic album sleeve covers. Some album covers. I think that's the proper name. That's how I would store it until I get the album or the album cover to replace it. And the reason why I do it like that, I'm more or less of a visual person. If I threw away the album cover now and just have the album in that white sleeve, I never remember what I needed. Even with the album in the sleeve there, I would still forget. So there's another part of this process. I'm going to log all of those albums into Discogs. I went into my collection. Now I need to create a new folder. This folder is going to be called Water Damage. After I created the folder, then I searched for Jesse Johnson, basically in Discog database, so I can add that to my collection. Once I added Jesse Johnson Shockadelica to my collection, the next thing you do, I edited the notes. I added some notes. In the notes, I added basically the condition of the album. Then once I've added the notes, then I will also, in my collection, I will add Jesse Johnson Shockadelica to the water damage folder. So now when I'm out shopping, whether it's a CD store, used record shop, or whatever, I can always look in Discog on my phone to see what I need to replace and what I have. Okay, that's my process on how I would track and replace my water damaged albums.
Okay, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I guess I have about maybe 8 albums or more that I need to finish cleaning up. So it'll probably take me about an hour or a little less than an hour. Okay, thanks a lot.